Welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. For today's reading, we're going to be getting messages from your shadow self and what messages do they have for you today? What do they want to say? And just a little bit of information on your shadow self. This is the part of you that is hidden or repressed. It also refers to your childhood experiences, traumas, or old memories that you may have that have been buried below the surface. So this is going to be messages from that part of your subconscious mind, your unconscious self here. So we have 3 pile choices for you to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the mountain with the unicorn. For pile number 2, we have the eternal child with the dolphin. And for pile number 3, we have the crone with the wolf. So these are the pile choices for today. Pause the video if you need more time to meditate on which reading is speaking to you. There may be more than one pile speaking to you. There may be messages in the different piles. Just follow your intuition. Take what resonates and leave the rest. These are general readings meant to go out to the collective, so not everything's going to resonate for you on your journey at this time. So the timestamps are going to be listed in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Welcome to your reading, pile number 1. So you guys were drawn to the mountain card with the unicorn. So let's put these in the center of the board. And I've pre-selected your cards before the reading to save us some time today. So let's get in. These are messages from your shadow self. And in the intro, I was speaking to you all about what the shadow self is, and this is the part of you that you may suppress, that you may deny, that you may even reject sometimes. It can also come from a place of, challenge and trauma from our youth, like old programming, old thoughts, old wounds. So we're going to see what messages your shadow wants to reveal to you today. So let's get in. We have the 3 of fire. Oh, I love how we have that with the mountain. This is about going on a voyage, an adventure. And with the mountain card, we have this individual who's standing in the center of the mountain, and there's this light coming out of the center. So I feel like this is you being willing to stand in your truth and shine your light on the parts of your unconscious wounds, perhaps, and facing your fears, going within. So this is about going on a journey within and seeking something new, expanding perhaps your vision, expanding your goals, a quest for something new, a quest to learn more about yourself. Let's see what else. Ooh, you have the King of Air, knowledgeable, objective, and respected. Okay, this is about having wisdom and speaking, sharing your wisdom with others, seeing things from a higher perspective even. And you have the 8 of Earth. Perhaps you are, maybe some of you are taking a class, maybe you're learning something new. Yeah, because this is about education, focus, and details. Learning a new craft, something with communication here. Maybe you're writing a book, taking courses on something. Maybe you're a teacher. This is about sharing your truth, sharing your ideas. What else do we have? The Knight of Water. Ooh. Typically that's like the knight in shining armor. So somebody's going to come in. This could be somebody coming in that's going to help you realize how amazing you are. This can also be emotional fulfillment here. Yeah, I feel like you are somebody who works really hard. You have a vision, a goal, an idea. This can also be somebody who's a little, we have romantic, emotional, and dramatic. And that could be you just falling in love with someone or something, or whatever this project is even. Let's see what else. What else are we hearing? We have the Four of Earth. Frugalness, extravagance, or control. I feel like, yeah, you may be a little bit insecure perhaps about, you know, your abilities, your whatever wisdom you have, whatever you're meant to share, this craft. Maybe you're holding back in some kind of way. Maybe you don't see how amazing you are, and somebody's going to come in and just like wisp you off your feet to remind you of how amazing you are. Yeah, there could be a blocked perspective, something you're not seeing about yourself. And with the Mountain, this is about going within to uncover the buried treasure here. And we have this woman who's sitting here on like a treasure chest. So there may be some locked away wisdom, something you're not seeing with the unicorn. You know, unicorns are unique. They're one of a kind. They have a very open third eye chakra, very pure spirit, pure energy. Okay, let's see what else we have. These are your Oracle cards. We have resistance, go with the flow, and open to life's changes. Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of a blockage here. Maybe you're not allowing yourself to see your potential, or you're not allowing yourself to enjoy, you know, life even with this Knight of Water. Maybe you're somebody who works really, really hard and you hold on just a little too tight. I think you're afraid to let go, and you kind of keep yourself locked away, you know, and preventing yourself from enjoying yourself a little bit. Like you may be just a little bit of fear in there, a little bit of fear of being seen, of putting yourself out there. Perhaps in the past there was a little bit of maybe you felt different, maybe you got picked on for being different, maybe you didn't quite fit in, and so there's a little bit of a hesitance to put yourself out there and to be seen or to be heard in some way. We have desire with harness its power to manifest dreams, not illusions. Okay, oops. What does it say at the bottom? Longing, meaning, and craving. Yeah, you have a desire. There's something you want. You want to go on an adventure. You want to have an adventure. Ooh, and yeah, you're being asked to reflect on what it is that's holding you back. Your shadow wants you to go within, to face your fear. What's preventing you from moving forward? What's stopping you from reaching your happy ending or this emotional fulfillment here? We have self-worth. That's the fear. So your lack of worth and value is preventing you from moving forward or from reaching your goals, reaching your destiny, obtaining your happy. This could be a relationship even. Maybe somebody's come into your life and you're afraid to open up and let them in and share your truth, share your heart. But see, your throne is waiting for you. This is your truth here. So there may be something in the past that made you feel like you weren't good enough. Yeah. What else do we have? Insecurity, confirmation. There's a little bit of insecurity about yourself, or perhaps this could even be about your this craft, whatever it is that you're learning, whatever you're creating and building. yeah, afraid to move forward, afraid to be seen, afraid to be vulnerable and express yourself. This could be in this relationship. Take what resonates for you guys. I'm getting several different energies here. Some of you, this is within a relationship, and some of you, this is about expressing your talents, your gifts, your truth, speaking up for yourself, or sharing your wisdom. We have higher self activation. Nice. Okay, so we have a timeline shift. This is you. You're being asked to connect to your higher self, to see things from a higher perspective. When you go in and do the healing work, go on the healing journey, go within to discover the buried treasure here. What is within, and heal these wounds here of insecurity and self-worth, because they're self-worth. They're preventing you from moving forward, from seeing your unique beauty, from honoring your gifts, your talents, your truth, your wisdom, and being open enough to receive the things that you desire. You know, whether it's a relationship, whether it's success and stability, support, love, whatever it is in your life that you're wanting to receive, your shadow wants you to go within and heal those wounds of insecurity and self-worth, because they are blocking you from going on this new adventure, from expanding to a higher timeline where all those things are available to you. And the advice that I can offer you is to go to those times in your past where you first felt, you know, like you weren't good enough, or there was a feeling where somebody maybe shamed you or tried to pick on you or put you down in any kind of way, and give yourself like the biggest hug and validate those feelings, because that is your truth. It happened to you. It was your experience. Allow yourself to feel the emotions and to purge them and cleanse them and purify them out of your energy field here, so that your heart can heal. Because now you are an adult. This is your higher self, the future you, and you have more power, more control. When we are children, we don't know how to handle these kinds of situations. And sometimes, especially if it's like in school, you know what I mean? You're stuck, you're forced being around these people. There's no way around it. You just have to face it every single day. And even if it's somebody in your family, in your household, you're trapped. You have no control, right? But as an adult, you get to make those choices for yourself now. And so you can protect yourself. You can stand up for yourself. You can choose who's allowed to be in your world, in your environment, in your life, have a part of your heart. You get to choose who you allow, you know, to hurt you, and by allowing them in your life or not, you know what I mean? So go back to those moments, those memories, however they come up, however your experience was, and give yourself a big hug and tell yourself, I love you and it's okay. And you're never going to have to go through that experience again. And it has taught you to love yourself, how to protect yourself, how to understand or acknowledge when somebody doesn't want the best for you, you know, how to spot a friend or an ally, a companion, versus somebody who just wants to take from you and perhaps could be even jealous of you because of your talents, your skills, your beauty, your light, your love, you know, and they don't want you to be happy, and that's because they're unhappy. And instead of people trying to change their life and make it better for themselves, they just kind of want to take from other people who they think have it better than them. And of course it doesn't work, does it? In their mind, they think it makes them feel better, but in the end it just kind of feeds that insecurity even more. So this is about loving yourself, giving yourself a pep talk, allowing yourself to feel whatever emotions you need to feel, and allow yourself to move forward so that you're not sitting in a place of feeling like a victim, or like you can't have, or you're not good enough in any kind of way, because you are good enough, you are worthy, and you are deserving. And this is your higher self coming through here, asking you to awaken and to go on a healing journey, and to expand your perception of the ways that you see yourself, and see your craft here, see this ability. And we have the past coming out with suffering, past affecting the present, lack, betrayal, victim, let the past go. Like I was saying, confirmation, your higher self, the future you, wants you to let your shadow go, to heal your shadow, to let go of the past, let go of the pain by acknowledging the pain, not ignoring it and pushing it down, by confronting it and giving it a voice, by purging it, by crying it out and letting it out of your system, and by saying, you know, I went through this, it hurt my feelings so much, you know, give it a voice, give it release by acknowledging that this has been a part of what has become you, you know, you're becoming. This was the shadow part, this was the past, this is my experience, and because I went through this, it has, you know, kept me from, you know, at this point in time, it has kept you from knowing your worth and having your happy ending here. And so by acknowledging the feelings that have been repressed, you can create shifts, major shifts, because that releases and it clears up space and it opens the door for new energies to come in, ones that are more loving, more compassionate, more in an alignment with your goals and your visions and your ideas, so that this past can be let go of, so that your future that you're wanting can come in, okay? Ooh, look, you have Venus with an offer. Exactly. This is an offer is coming in for you. And look, it's romance, love, beauty, creative arts, wealth, harmony, attraction, an offer. So this is all the Venus energy here. This is what's wanting to come in for you, but you have to let the past go. You have to heal from this experience and allow yourself to give yourself the biggest hug, free yourself from the burdens of the past, from the chains that bind you, so that you can move forward and be open to receiving this offer that your higher self wants to give you. It wants to give you love. It wants to give you prosperity. It wants to give you creative ideas and inspirations, because there's some wisdom that you have to offer to the collective, to others. Ooh, you have the summer solstice with radiance. Look at this. This is happiness. This is joy. This is light, perspective, going within and shining your light on the shadows, on the past, so that you can uncover those hidden gems that have been buried within. And the summer solstice, for me, I felt like this is, you know, we just had this major alignment with the Lion's Gate, with the alignments of the sun and the earth and Sirius and even the galactic sun here. So there's a possibility that that's why this is all coming up to the surface, because when we shine light into the shadows, you know, our shadows are very dense, they're very heavy. And when we shine light on it, it disperses the shadows, right? And it breaks them up so that they can be more enlightened, because we're shining our awareness and our light and our love onto the situation. And so that's what frees us, is by giving light, by putting our awareness and our vision and seeing the truth of the situation, so that it's no longer something, a ghost of the past that's haunting us. We can, when we face it, we illuminate it, and then that's what causes the shadow to disperse and eventually disappear, because we've made contact. Look, and we have power. This is about huge awakening here, right? Major epiphanies, emotions coming up to the surface to be cleansed, to be purged, to be acknowledged and healed, so that you can move forward. Pile number one. Yes, your shadow self wants you to heal and see your unique light, to see your beauty, to see that you deserve happiness, you deserve love, you deserve support, you deserve everything that you desire. You just have to let go of those feelings that make you feel like you're not good enough. And this can come from, wanting approval from others, wanting to be liked, wanting to be understood. And who doesn't? But that's the thing. Sometimes we look to the wrong people who can't, truly, honestly, we shouldn't look to anybody to give us approval. Although all children look for their parents' approval, that's normal. But we even look to society, to our friends, to our peer groups to get approval because we want to fit in, we want to be accepted. And some people, they're just mean-spirited, and whatever is going on with them, however they were raised, whatever environments they're in, they just are not happy, and so they want to dim the light of anybody who is happy. And so that's why it's best to look towards your own heart and give yourself that big hug, that sign of approval, of affection, of confidence, and feeling safe and secure within your own heart, and knowing your own truths and not needing any outside sources to confirm that for you. Speak to yourself, go within to your heart, and ask what needs to be seen, what needs to be released so that you can move forward and achieve these goals and these desires that you have for yourself, okay? All right, I'm going to pull you. Let's try to do 2 of these source cards, messages from source here. So this one and this one. Okay, pile number 1's shadow self says, letting go. Today, remembering that God is within and around me, I release myself to God's hands and regain my inner peace. I know God is providing me that which is most beneficial for my soul. I know that God is sending angels to help me face any difficulties that arise. I let go into God's will, knowing the best is yet to come. Ooh, I love that. So you're being asked to surrender and let go and have love for yourself, have compassion for others, because they were showing you how you want to be loved, how you need to be loved. And then give that to yourself and fill your cup with your own love and approval, pile number 1. And we have searching within. Look at that. We have this beautiful opening of the heart and the light shining in. It says, what I see outside myself is simply a mirror of my inner self. Today, I empower myself by looking past outer conditions and searching within for the source of a difficulty in my life. My inner wisdom will always help me face life's challenges. It provides my best answers and my greatest healing. As I study myself, I am transformed. That's beautiful. Okay, so confirmation that everything you need, everything you're searching for is within. Going within to your own heart space, healing any old wounds and letting them go. Allow yourself to feel them, embrace them, validate them, give them a voice, purge them out, cry if you need to cry, write them down, communicate them to a trusting friend that's very supportive, and allow yourself to see where you may have given your power away onto others, and take it back by loving yourself and giving yourself love and support, caring for yourself, becoming your own best friend, giving yourself that ego boost so that you can become your own cheerleader, and giving yourself validation and approval, understanding where your fears come from, why they're there, what are they there to teach you, what do they want you to know, what do you need to let go of, what do you need to embrace more of, how can you achieve your goals and your desires and your happiness and find emotional fulfillment here for you. Okay. All right, pile number one, I'm going to close your reading here today. Thank you all so much for joining me. These are messages from your shadow self. If this reading resonated with you, please comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or if you don't know what to say, just say pile number one was your reading. Like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for being here. Sending you so much love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading pile number two. So these are messages from your shadow self, and you were drawn to the Eternal Child card with the Dolphin. So what's so awesome is I chose the animals first, and then I shuffled the deck to pull out 3 cards, and the Eternal Child came out with the Dolphin. And dolphins represent the inner child, and they also represent playfulness, and they are connected to Sirius, the star, the spiritual star, which is also our spiritual sun. So, and these readings are coming out after the Lion's Gate, so there's definitely a connection here to the Lion's Gate portal, especially with the Eternal Child. And we have in the center here this sun, so I love that. So this is the version of you that is always a part of source. There's a spark of light, which represents your your soul here. So this is about the eternal you. So I want to take a look at what your shadow self wants to say in regards to that part of yourself here. Okay, we have the 5 of water. This is about loss, disappointment, perhaps regret even. Things maybe not working out the way you'd like them to. 5 of water. This can also relate to something from the past here with the child. Ooh, but we have the Knight of Fire coming through with confident, passionate, and adventurous. Okay, so there may be something that you're worried about, but it could be something from the past here. Some unfinished business, perhaps. Let's keep going, because this is a fast-moving energy there. Ooh, you have the 4 of fire. Something to celebrate. Let's see what else. I want to see where this is coming from before I get to the rest of these cards. Wow, you have the Empress. Okay. And the Ace of Fire. Wow. So there's some opportunity that's coming in again. Lots of forward movement, lots of creativity, lots of power, lots of lots of good things are on the horizon for you, pile number 2. I mean, that's awesome, which I guess is why we have the Dolphin here, because it also connects us to our inner child and play and having fun. And so there's this lots of opportunities for play and having fun here coming in for you. There is this creative idea, this power, wielding your power from something. But I'm still not sure what we have. Disappointment, regret, and forgiveness here. And it probably means that you need to let something go so that you can move forward into this happy life that you're wanting to create for yourself, where you feel content, where there's prosperity, there's abundance, there's opportunities to create, to take action on ideas that you may have. Let's see what else wants to come through from the shadow. We have isolation and solitude. Discover your true self and connect deeper. Loneliness, solitude. Okay. What else? We have resistance, This came out in pile number 1. Go with the flow and be open to life's changes. And we have avoidance. Face what you fear, for avoidance is but a temporary refuge. Okay, so this could be what your eternal child, what needs to be let go of. Your shadow self says to face what it is that you're avoiding. And there's some disappointment, some emotions from the past that need your love, that need your attention, that need your forgiveness. So we have disappointment and regret. So there may be something, because we have this woman who's crying over, this spilt milk on the floor. But she also has these 2 potential cups up here with milk that she can pour into these. So this is about letting go of things that didn't work out. There's a reason why this didn't work out, because there's greater opportunities for you. There's something better meant for you. And it's time for you to let this go, to release it, to, because this could be blocking you from this forward movement, and I feel like your inner child here wants you to let it go, because there's so many things in your life that are coming in that are gonna make you feel more content, more stable. You're gonna have cause to celebrate. There's this beautiful mothering energy here coming through, the divine feminine that gives you the ability to create, your happiness, to create your life of your dreams here, and there's this beautiful Ace of Fire. This is about empowering yourself and wielding your power, taking action, and opportunities coming in for you. And this is with the Knight of Fire. This is Knight of Wands. This is fast. Okay, sorry about that. We had my dogs are barking at a stranger. So, and there could be a sign. Your shadow here wants to protect you from, could be somebody, from something that may want to cause you harm. Take that if it resonates. Anytime something happens during a reading, always try to interpret if that applies to the reading or not. But all right, let's keep going. What do we have? We have service. Okay, giving. Oh, and you have trickery here. Okay. I feel like this connects to our disappointment and regret here. Perhaps there was somebody in your life with whom may have mistaken your kindness, or perhaps betrayed your heart, betrayed your trust. Yeah, and this may have been why you felt the need to isolate yourself here. Yeah, I feel like you may have given your heart, you may have taken care of somebody, been there for someone, just to have them, lie to you and trick you and betray you. Let me see what else we have. Choices. This card's always so weird. Keys on a ring, and then it says one night stand. So it's also about many choices, or somebody stringing you along. Okay, so we're starting to get to the shadow here. So there has been experiences within relationships, I feel, where people, I feel like there's several people who may have been just using your kind heart, taking advantage of you, stringing you along, which has, maybe had you hide yourself, or perhaps has wounded your heart. It may have been preventing you from, loving yourself, forgiving yourself for making certain choices, or for allowing these people to take advantage of your kind heart, your empathic heart. Yeah. Pile number 2. We have external party situations, karmic partner, friends, family, work, other people, and obligations. Okay, so these individuals who were doing this, all right, so we have your shadow coming out the bottom here. We have disharmony and triggers. Yeah. So these individuals that were in your life that have caused you harm, strung you along, took advantage of you, betrayed your heart. They were karmic relationships. And karmic relationships, we have several incarnations with these individuals. I'm not sure if y'all seen that movie, is it Cloud Atlas? And it's about these two souls who incarnate over and over again, and they incarnate as different individuals in each other's lives. Sometimes they are partners together in a relationship, sometimes they are enemies in relationship, as far as like they meet each other on the path, and sometimes they come as a supportive friend, somebody who helps them out of a rough situation, life or death situation. And each time, each person plays a different character, a different role. Sometimes you yourself would play the bad guy, and sometimes they play the bad guy. And there's times where you play the good guy and they play the good guy. And each time you are paying off a debt to one another, and you are each learning through an experience that you're going through each time you incarnate. And each one of you takes on a role to teach the other person a lesson, right? You have to learn from them. And then there comes a time where you and this individual, one of you or both of you in the same incarnation, decide that you are done paying off the debts for one another, and that you want to end the cycle so that you're no longer having to incarnate into a karmic relationship with another individual where you are paying off a debt. Like, let's say if the last time you were you did something that was hurtful to them, and then when you pass on, you have that regret in your heart, and then you choose to come back to earth to make amends, to pay back that karmic debt. And of course, when we reincarnate, we forget our purpose for incarnating and why we're here, and then we get looped into that cycle again. And so there comes a time where a soul awakens and decides, I don't want to continue on in a relationship, or I don't feel content, or I don't feel loved and appreciated. And you start to set healthy boundaries for yourself, and you start deciding who is worthy of your heart, who's worthy of your love, and you choose not to just give it away blindly. You then choose how to protect this spark, how to protect this light, protect your inner child from having to experience people who just want to take advantage of you, people who just want to harm you, steal your light, use all your love and your empathy, and then they really have no intentions of, reciprocating that type of love back to you. They just are, they say one thing and they do another. There's just constant harmony, conflict. There can be competition. And this can be family members that you've incarnated into a family with, your brothers and sisters. This could be a parent. This could be a partner that you're with, or a friend that you've known from childhood for a long time, and they just trigger feelings of insecurity, or, places where you feel like you're not good enough, or always trying to put you down or make you feel like you're not doing enough, and it's always a negative feeling and a negative interaction with this individual. And that's how you know that this is the karmic relationship, because it's not one that makes you feel uplifted. It doesn't energize you. It doesn't feel like there's a good exchange of energy. The energy feels toxic. It feels draining. It's like a black hole. It just sucks the life out of you. That's how you know that this is a karmic relationship. And this is what you need to leave behind. You need to decide that I no longer want to be attracted or have this type of energy in my life, and it's choosing to move on from these types of experiences, these types of people. And now that you've gone through these experiences and you awaken to them, you start understanding, acknowledging when you feel this energy coming off of a certain person, or they trigger that same emotion, that same feeling of a relationship that you know what it's going to be like. It's always the same, right? This is the pattern. When you start recognizing the pattern, that's when you can empower yourself to create change. That's when you can say, oh, nope, I've been in too many of those. I know what they look like. They just betray my heart and they leave me feeling disappointed. And then I regret that I gave them so much of my love and forgave so many things that they did to hurt me and betray me, only to be left feeling alone and abandoned. So that's how you'll know when this is a karmic relationship. And your eternal child, there's a part of you that that is always, this is the innocent part, and this is who you are as a person. You have this empathic heart that can see people's potential. You can see their light. You can see their divinity. You can see their inner child and see that they're just wounded and they're acting out of their wounds. But that doesn't mean that you are like the sacrificial lamb and you have to constantly, tolerate their abuse and their negativity and their toxicity. You're not here for that. And what you can do is just offer them love at a distance, and have love for them, but they are not acting out of their highest good. They're acting out of their traumas and they're inflicting it onto you, because what happens with people when they have pain and they don't know how to get rid of pain, they just project it out onto other people. And so you can set healthy boundaries for yourself that can say, I have love for you, but I love myself more, and it's time for me to take care of my needs. It's time for me to get my needs met, for me to have a life that I deserve, because I love me, and I want a life, and I want a partner. I want relationships that feel like this, that pour into my cup just as much as I'm pouring into their cup, and feel confident in yourself to walk away from these types of relationships. And this is what disconnects the cord from you having to have any more of these types of relationships, by walking away from them, by saying enough's enough. I've learned all of I can from these toxic people and karmic relationships that I can. You've taught me how to love myself, how to stand up for myself, how to set healthy boundaries, how to recognize when someone just wants to take from me, they just want to manipulate me, they want to gaslight me, and I can recognize it now from a mile away. I can feel somebody. I recognize when somebody's lying, when somebody, by watching how they treat people, not by the words that they say, but how they treat people. And if they're lying, their words and their actions don't align, then this is somebody who's wearing a mask and they're trying to manipulate me into believing something that's not true. And so let them go. Let them learn their own lessons. They have to learn consequences to actions. If they can't walk around treating people like this and thinking everyone's going to tolerate it and that everyone's going to be by their side and supporting that type of behavior. There's tons of people who have experienced hardship and struggle in their youth and their childhood, and they don't go around inflicting their pain onto others. They take the cards that they're dealt and they make the best out of the situations. They can say, this is what I went through and I overcame it. I didn't let it hold me back. I didn't let it take my light away, you know. I didn't let it defeat me. I took that and I decided to change it and become something different. And those are people that you want to support, because that's somebody who's doing the work. They're wanting to bring more love and light into the world and not put more pain and, you know, darkness into the world. Well, we have union, soulmate energy, nice. Decisions, a proposal, integration of yin and yang energies. And see, this is about healing the shadow here. When you can understand, you know, why you were in these relationships, what was it that you were learning from this experience, by facing your shadow self, communicating with your inner child, you know, understanding why you went through this experience, facing your fears, and bringing more love, more light into those situations, and bringing your nurturing heart to yourself, forgiving yourself, and understanding, you know, why you were in those relationships, because you wanted to help them. You understood their pain. You wanted to help them heal. And not everybody is ready to face their shadows. Not everybody's ready to heal. Not everybody's living from their potential and from their innocence, okay? They have wounds that are too much for them to face. And so it's not that you're not worthy enough and you're not good enough for them to heal. It's that they aren't ready for your light. And maybe your light forces them to see their pain and to deal with things they're not ready to deal with. And so it makes them, you know, react. And so it has nothing to do with you not being good enough, all right? This is you learning to set healthy boundaries and saying, I deserve more than that. And I can love them from a distance, but that's not my burden. That's not my, you know, their wounds are not my problem, you know. And it's not selfish to say that. It's not selfish to want better for yourself and to want to have love, to have respect, to have, you know, a partner who doesn't want to hurt you, who cares how they make you feel. You know what I mean? That's not selfish at all. We should all have that. We all want that. So these individuals, they were just lessons along the way, okay? Teaching about what you want from a relationship and what you don't want from a relationship. So that's how you can offer forgiveness to yourself and that individual, because they were teaching you what love doesn't look like. Love doesn't look like this. Love doesn't treat you like this. Love doesn't disrespect you in this kind of a way. And so you can say, thank you for teaching me how to love myself, right? And what I deserve now, because now I know through the experience of what it doesn't look like. And that's how you can integrate shadow and light, through understanding what the shadow is there to teach you. We have crystals with focus, okay? This is about focusing on creating your happiness, creating this life, creating this partnership that you want, and being in celebration, feeling content with the partner, with the life that you've made and created with yourself, you know, feeling content with who you are as a person. We have new moon promise. Nice. Look at this new beginning that's coming in for you. The light is shining. And look, we have this happy couple right here who's watching the sun rise. This new beginning coming in. Happy ending. A true love is coming in for you. We have the stone, people with vigilance. Okay, this is about, make sure that you're grounding. I feel like that's what's happening. This is coming in for you. What's the final one? Tree. Look, grounding. Nice. Okay, so your inner child wants you to know that through the shadow work here, you're going to be grounding in this happy ending, this knight in shining armor, this union of a soulmate, union also of your shadow and your light. Focus on filling your own cup, practicing more self-care, self-love, forgiveness, understanding, choices that were made, why you made those choices. Even if you don't understand, especially if this is like incarnating into family and the family doesn't jive well with who you are. You know, they may have certain traditions and ideals that don't match up with how you feel in your heart, and having to, you know, it doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life, but if it's to that point where you don't feel safe around these individuals and it's just so toxic, then, you know, and it's harder to hold on than it is to let go. Don't feel bad for letting go, okay? You can still have love for them, but it doesn't mean they have to be right there front and center in your life, okay? All right, pal. Number 2, let me get you a final message from Source to close out your reading. Messages for pile number 2 to send them on their way. We have the Inner Alchemist. And it says, like an alchemist, I possess all the power I need to build a life of joy and harmony. Today, through my positive thoughts, words, and deeds, I create my own light. I understand that I can use my inner magic of intention to transform myself in the same way an alchemist transforms lead into gold. Today, I create happiness. Love it. You have the power within yourself to create your happy ending here. Focus on saying positive affirmations, you know, and practice saying, I love you. I am moving forward. I deserve happiness. I deserve abundance. I'm taking my power back, you know, all those things. I'm confident. Whatever it is you need to empower yourself with, know that you have the power to transform these relationships and to bring in more healthy, loving relationships, not only with yourself, but with other individuals, so that you can attract, you know, the life of your dreams, pile number 2. All right, you guys, these were your messages from your shadow self. Please like and subscribe if this reading resonated with you. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know pile number 2 is your reading. Sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care. Have a blessed day. Welcome, pile number 3. These are your messages from your shadow self, and you were drawn to the Crone card with the wolf. All right, so let's get in and see what your shadow self wants you to know. Okay, so we have fear. Face your darkness. It's the only way to find the guiding light. Ooh, that's beautiful, especially coming through with the Crone card. And I love that we have the raven here. And ravens are messengers of, you know, there's a lot of lore about ravens. And some say that they're bringers of death, which can be transition and transformation. But they also are able to help us to see through the shadows. They bring a lot of mystery. They bring a lot of spiritual connection, being able to pierce the shadows. And they offer a lot of wisdom and insight. And they also foretell, like prophecy. They bring messages, you know. And so I feel like your shadow is wanting you to face your fears. Because there's going to be a lot of wisdom that comes from going within and trying to understand the darkness. And your light, your awareness, your love, it's what's going to bring healing and understanding into the darkness. Your love, your attention, that's all the light. Your perception, your focus, this is all light. This is awareness. This is truth. This is healing. So there's something that needs your attention. A fear that needs to be faced. We have suppression. Express, don't suppress. Authenticity is freeing. Okay, so there's something that's holding you back, something that you're pressing down, a fear that needs to be faced. We'll see what What shadow is being called to light? What shadow is wanting your attention? What wants you to pierce the veil and see things from a different perspective, to receive the wisdom from the experience? We have grief. This could be, yeah, loss. Let's put that over here. You know, something in the heart space here. This could be betrayal. We have facade. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's you. I feel like you've been trying to put on a brave face, trying to go through life, but you have a broken heart. There's something that maybe this could be you miss someone, maybe somebody from your past, maybe this is a loved one who's passed away, and you know, you found it hard to move on, to go forward. Yeah, because we have this dog, and this is about, you know, dogs are about loyalty and unconditional love. Ooh, and my dogs are going off. Hang on just a minute. Okay, sorry. So I was just commenting on the dog here, and I feel like, you know, they represent unconditional love, and then we have this, what appears to be a grandparent, a father figure. So I feel like this may be a family member. This could also be, we also have the, you know, it's the adult guiding the child. So I feel like there is some loved one, some, a person, or even, you know, a pet, a family pet that you may have lost. And there's this emotion of grief that is being, you know, suppressed. Some of the feeling of loss and not wanting to, you know, feel that. And who wants to, right? That is painful to lose loved ones, completely understandable. But I feel like your loved one wants you to shift the way that you're seeing this situation. There's something that you're not seeing. Perhaps, you know, because we have this beautiful, I believe it's I'm not sure if it's a mockingbird on the card here, but I feel like they come to you when you're out in nature and speak to you and watch you, and they watch you grow. They see how you've transformed, and they want you to heal your heart chakra here. They want you to move forward. They want you to let go. You know, and letting go doesn't mean that you forget or that it has no meaning. Letting go means that you accept what has happened, and which is so hard when you lose a loved one, right? To accept that they aren't here in the 3D, in the physical realm with you anymore, and that they have transitioned over. And it's not to say that they no longer exist, because everything is energy. So they're always here, they're always around you. It's just the way that they communicate and connect to you is in a different form now. And they have transformed, and they're living, you know, when we're on the other side, when we transition, all is love, all is connected. You know, we know only love. And so for them, they don't want you to be unhappy. They don't want you going through life with this grief, with this pain in your heart. They want you to be happy and to move on and to experience this life and receive all that you are meant to receive while you are here on this plane. Let's see what else we have. Self-love and attentions. Yeah, they want you to heal your heart, to love yourself, to let go of anything that you may be suppressing. Yeah. Free yourself from the past, from this grief. And they want you to focus on your happiness, things that make you happy. And, I know that's easier said than done, especially when you miss somebody and you want them to be in your life. And it's not easy. But the thing is, like, we can learn to carry grief, but also carry love and be the bridge between both, and there are so many out there who have to walk that line as well, and not to let the grief be something that makes them live the rest of their life out in loss and pain and sadness and despair. And your loved one doesn't want you living the rest of your time here on the earth in that state. It would make them sad. It would bring them down. It would break their heart, and they don't want you feeling that way. Their time, everybody signs a contract and we're all here, and we're all fulfilling what we set out to do. And so their mission, they came here to do what they set out to do. And their contracts were up, and now they are fulfilling new contracts, and they're on a different mission. And they want you to do what you came here to do as well. And to accept that the time that you guys had together, that's where you can put your focus on. The time that we were with one another was amazing, and I enjoyed every bit of it. I loved you while you were here. You were, my best friend. You were somebody that I could talk to, that I could lean on, that I could share my life with, and I miss you, and you can still say those things. You can still talk to them in your heart space. Go out in nature and spend time in nature with them. They hear you, they'll feel you. They can send you signs, whether it's butterflies or birds, and you can feel the presence when you get quiet and when you connect to your heart. They are with you always. And so I know it's hard, and I can't understand what you're going through. I can empathize with you, and just convey the message that they're wanting to offer to you. And they want you to be happy, and they want you to move on. And it doesn't mean that you are forgetting them and you're saying that it didn't mean anything, but they are, of course, they know how you feel about them. They want you to love yourself and to try to create a life that you're not closed off from living, living from your heart space, and not living your life purpose, So we have closed off and guarded. This could be a loved one that, because we have this person who's in, some type of gear. So I feel like maybe they could have been in the army, the military, in service in some kind of way. And we have karma and balance, weighing things out, cause and effect, choices, and wanting to make things right. Okay, so yeah, this is about balancing your grief with moving forward, and grief is something that, especially when you lose a loved one, it's something that you learn to carry in stride. It's not easy, but don't let it be something that stops you from finding love and magic and beauty in the world, and moving on without them doesn't mean that your love for them, was small or had no meaning. We have union. And see, this came out, this was in a different deck, which was so weird when I was shuffling. It got put in the wrong deck, and so when I was pulling the other cards, this one came out with them. So, integration. Yeah, union. Here's the thing, you will meet up again on a different path, on a different journey. But this lifetime, your time came to an end, and it may have been unexpected. It may have been at a time where you weren't ready to, let go. But there is a life waiting for you, and there is somebody who's waiting for you as well, and if you prevent yourself and close yourself off, you won't be able to fulfill your mission. You won't be able to meet, this person, or to do what you set out to do, because you are holding yourself back out of fear. Perhaps some of you, if this is a partner that you've lost in service, perhaps you're afraid that if you move on, that they're going to be upset or mad, and they're saying no, that you deserve to be happy, and that they cherish your time, the time that you had with one another, and that y'all fulfilled the contract that you set out to fulfill, and it's time for you to move forward and to find happiness. It's not saying that you weren't happy with them, but they want you to be happy going forward. Let me see what else we have. We have 5 of Earth, lack, worry, and assistance. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you worry a lot. Maybe perhaps you worry about not being good enough, worried that things aren't going to work out. But see, there's a door that's opening, and there's a divine assistance coming in. We have the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, and this is about stepping into your power. She's somebody who's very empathic, very loving. She's very determined. Let's see, I think this is where what your shadow wants you to do is heal from this experience, so that you can let go of worry, let go of lack, of not having, and to step into your power and be open to receiving, to be to know that you are worthy of love. Pile number 3. You have the Ace of Earth. Nice. This is a new seeds, new opportunities, new resources coming in for you. The hard work. We have a Knight of Fire. Okay, so some of you may have some fears about moving on from the situation, the grief that you've been holding on to. It's time for you to let it go, because there is someone coming in that I'm seeing from these cards. There is there's some healing for you. Perhaps some of you in this relationship, maybe okay, with the facade coming through, I feel like maybe, don't come at me. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Maybe you saw things different than what they actually were. Maybe you believed that this was your soulmate and they weren't. Maybe they were, this was a karmic relationship and things weren't as good as you thought they were. Maybe you were hoping that they would get better in time and they just didn't. And it broke your heart. Maybe this person, they just didn't live up to the potential. They didn't live up to their promises. They didn't live up to who you thought they were. And you had to let them go, or perhaps they let you go and it just broke your heart. And what your shadow self wants you to know is it's time to let it go and to restore your heart, to restore your faith and love, and that there's a new opportunity coming in, and a new experience for love coming in. But you have to open the door, and you have to let go of the feeling of not feeling good enough. You've learned to protect yourself now, learning what it looks like to have somebody tell you that, to feed you empty promises. And it's time for you to learn to love yourself, know your worth, know your value by setting those healthy boundaries and not allowing somebody to manipulate you or to lie to you or put you down. You know, make sure that you are being more observant of the person, watchful of their actions and their words, and making sure that they align. But you have a new opportunity for love coming in for you, pile number 3. And I feel like you're being asked to stand in your truth and stand in your power, and to empower yourself with love and confidence, and to move on from the past. Because you do have this soulmate energy here, a decision, a choice, you know, something that needs to be acknowledged and accepted. And I feel like the end of this relationship that didn't work, or, you know, take what resonates. I had a couple different messages come through with these ending cards here, whether it's the loss of a loved one who's transitioned, or the loss of a loved one who might not have been the right one for you, and you may have closed your heart off from being more open to having love come in. So, but I feel like you're going to open your heart. We have a lot of new beginnings here. A new beginning, a new opportunity, new love, new adventures. But you have to let go the feeling of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy. Stand in your power. Know that you are a beautiful, attractive, smart, intelligent, worthy person of having, you know, love and passion and a soulmate, somebody who's right for you, somebody who makes you feel loved and respected and appreciated and adored. We have the Milky Way with perspective. Yeah, it's all about how you see things and changing the way that you see the situation. What were you learning from this experience, you know, and taking what you've learned and then applying it going forward. You know, you were learning something from the things that were not good, and some of it may have been karma from a past life, you know. You have shaman, ancient healing wisdom. So yeah, this could be the end of a cycle, the end of a karmic relationship. There's definitely some healing coming in, especially with the Crone. Yeah. Your shadow wants you to heal from this experience so that you can transform and move forward. And your final card here is, look at that DNA karma again. So a lot of this was karma here, a lot of karmic relationship, a lot of karmic experiences, old energies transforming. We have new energies coming in. Yeah, this was the end of a cycle with you and this individual here. So if this was about heartache and heartbreak, this was a karmic relationship. Yeah, and the two of you have incarnated many, many times in many, many lives. And this may be the, you know, just another experience for you to Let's see if there's anything else coming through for you guys. Yeah, lean into your, I feel like you're an old soul, pile number 3. Wise old soul, don't be afraid to be independent and to go on your own, you know, to let go, to nurture yourself, to heal yourself before stepping, you know, into another relationship, you know. It's time for you to build up your self-esteem, your confidence in yourself, to fill your cup, to know your truth, know yourself. to learn how to set healthy boundaries, you know, all those things. I think it's time for you to heal, because we have a lot of healing coming through for you. Now is the time, your shadow self says. It's time to heal from this experience, from this wound that you have. And there are opportunities that are going to be coming in for you that are going to bring this healing energy. And there could be an individual who comes in that opens your heart and helps you to heal your heart. Okay? And we have so many butterflies, so there's a lot of transformation coming in as well. Yeah, I feel the fall coming through here, so something about fall. During the fall, you're going to be able to help shed, you know, an old perspective, an old identity here. Here we go. Letting go. Today, remembering that God is within and around me, I release myself to God's hands and regain my inner peace. I know God is providing me that which is most beneficial for my soul. I know that God is sending angels to help me face any difficulties that arise. I let go into God's will, knowing the best is yet to come. That's beautiful. Confirmation that it's okay to let go. Trust and surrender that you are being guided, that this is according to divine will, and, you know, just continue to love yourself and move forward, okay? Heal what needs to be healed. Face whatever shadow wants your attention, wants your love, wants your nurturing energy. Yeah. Okay, pile number 3, I'm going to close your reading now. Thank you all so much for being here. If this reading resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story. If you don't know what to say, just let me know. Pile number 3 was your reading. I'm sending you all so much love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.